Imagine staying in a country for many years, making it your home, and then all of a sudden, you've been told you're not a citizen of that country. Well, that's the story of a Ghanaian man, Nelson Shardey, who has lived in the UK for close to 50 years and assumed for so long that he was officially seen as a British, only to realize otherwise in 2019 when he was denied a visa despite paying taxes for all of his adult life. So how did Mr. Nelson get to this point in his life? Mr. Shardey first came to the UK in 1977 to study accountancy, with a student visa that allowed him to also work. After a coup in his native country, Ghana, his family could no longer send him money, so he had to take up a series of jobs. He started making Mother's Pride bread and Kipling's cake near Southampton, and Bendick's chocolate in Winchester, saying no one ever questioned his right to live or work in the UK. He got married to a British woman and moved to Wallasey to run his own business, a news agency called the Nelson's News. After some time, his marriage ended, and he married another British woman with whom he has 2 sons, Jacob and Aaron. He did his best to educate his sons. Both went to the university and now have careers as a research scientist and a public relations executive. Mr. Shardey performed jury services, and in 2007 he was given a police award for bravery after tackling a robber who was attacking a delivery man with a baseball bat. But in 2019, when he applied for a passport so he could go back to Ghana following the death of his mother, he was told he was not a British. The Home Office said he had no right to be in the UK. Now, this is someone who had never left the UK, as he saw no need to. UK was his home. He bought all of his things on credit, even a house, and he has a mortgage. Now, here is the twist. Officials told him to apply for a 10-year route to settlement. Over the 10 years, it will cost him about £7,000 and another £10,500 over the same period to have access to the NHS, which is the National Health Service. Mr. Shardey said he cannot afford to pay the money, considering the fact that he's recovering from prostate cancer. Telling him to go through that route is punishment enough, and not fair for someone who has given his entire life and his whole self to the country. When he tried online to extend his right to stay in the UK 2 years ago, he ended up filling out the wrong form. And as a result, Mr. Shardey will not be allowed to stay in the UK permanently until he is 84 years old. So what can he do? Well, with the help of Nicola Borges, a lawyer at Greater Manchester Immigration Aid Unit, Mr. Shardey is now taking the Home Office to court. His case, which his sons are trying to pay for through crowdfunding, is that the Home Office should have treated him with an exception given the length of time he has stayed in the UK, and because of his bravery award and his service to the community. It has been reported that at least one caseworker has looked at his file and suggested that he should be granted indefinite leave to remain because there are exceptional facts. Plus, if you look at it on a personal level, if Mr. Nelson was your neighbor or friend, you would absolutely agree that he should be given immediate right to settle. In all of this, the Home Office has responded that it will be inappropriate to comment on an active legal proceeding.